good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is a card for this week beginning 15th of August 2021. I'm going to use Crow's Magic deck, or Crow's Magic Tarot, I should say. I'll leave the link down below as well if you want to see more of this deck. It's quite a nice deck. And right, so let's pick a card out. Okay, what we got? Three of Wands, ingenious, savvy. Okay, right, so Wands is quite an active card, so you've got Aries there, so it's his energy, activity. You've got the Fox, it can be quite sly, but I do prefer those words rather than slyness. Ingenious, savvy, that's knowing, knowledge. So this week I reckon we're going to be all learning a few things. Maybe there's going to be some things that we're going to be learning about people who have been deceiving us, people who have been sly and underhanded, people who, as I say, have been deceiving, deception that's been going on with some people. And Aries is the first sign of the chart in the zodiac, so this could be people in power that we're going to be hearing about. Maybe there's going to be a few arrests. Got, what else we got here? Some black, red, yellow. It's the Three of Wands. So you got the three there. You got three feathers. So you got a mirror there as well. Well, almost a mirror because he's walking on it, isn't it? It's not a hole. He's basically walking on it, being reflected. So this is, as I say, I get the feeling we're going to be hearing about people who have not been upfront with us. There may well be some prominent arrests this week. Maybe people calling for the removal of certain people. We may also be hearing of unrest breaking out in other countries, because I often see the Three of Wands of looking overseas as well. If you think of some of the other decks, you often get a man standing looking over a harbour, don't you? And I often see that as looking overseas, looking at other countries. So we could be hearing of unrest breaking out in other countries because of all this red, all this activity with Mars and Aries there. It's quite a warlike sign. And it's almost like when the fox gets the fox is a predator, and a lot of people take the fox as a lot of people will slate them and put them down. But when you think about it, the fox is often put in a very unnatural setting. When a fox lives in the wild, they eat things like birds and small rodents, rats, mice, rabbits, um, sometimes baby animals, but not very often because they're often bigger than the fox. So it's not very often they will go for things like lambs or calves or anything like that. They're much too big for them normally. If they're ill or if they're injured, then they may go for them. Some people will say a fox will go for a cat. That I've seen foxes and cats actually playing together in the back gardens. So again, I would say a fox would only go for a cat if it's starving, or if the cat is injured or ill or elderly, then the fox may take a chance. But a cat can put up a hell of a fight, so most of the time a fox would not attack a cat. So if anybody tries to tell you that, just remember a cat can fight. They're very good fighters as well. So when a fox is put into an unnatural setting, when they find, for instance, a chicken coop, now chickens can actually fly in the wild. When they're in a coop, they're actually they have their wing feathers cut so that they can't fly. So in the wild, if a fox comes across a bunch of chickens, a number of chickens, it may be able to catch one, the rest are going to fly off. If it comes across a rabbit or a rat, it may catch one, the rest are going to run away. And most of the time, a rabbit or a rat will run away anyway. The fox is often unsuccessful in the hunt. So when it comes across a chicken coop or a pigeon coop, for instance, where the birds are kept in enclosed, confined space, which is man made, not natural, then the fox is put into an unnatural situation. And because it's in an unnatural situation, it goes haywire and it starts slaughtering everything, which is why people don't like it. But in actual fact, it's the people that have caused that situation, not the fox. So we should not be blaming the fox for things like that. So the reason I'm bringing this up, because the fox is a predator, as I say, and it's an unnatural situation when it does attack all of the chickens or all of the pigeons or all of the rabbits in a hutch, because we have put that situation there. Humans have done that, not the fox. So when you think about it, the powers that be, our governments, the authorities in the world, they have put people in very unnatural positions with all the lockdowns and the economic crashes and things like this. These are positions that we do not want to be in. We do not like being in. They're very uncomfortable. So people are going to react in a way that, again, is not how we would normally act. So there's going to be unrest, I would say, overseas, more than likely. There's going to be situations where people are doing things which are not very nice because of how they feel. They need to get those feelings out. They want to vent their anger. And this is all the Mars energy, the Aries energy. So going back to the house number 1, which is ruled by Mars and Aries. And we're going to see this fiery energy coming out in people. And I think it's going to emerge in quite a few different ways. So not just unrest in certain parts of the world, but also in a lot more protests. There's also going to be a lot of calling for powers that be to be taken down. A lot of energy and activity this week, I reckon. A lot of knowledge from people who are very knowledgeable, standing their ground and helping people, and maybe even stirring things up a little bit because of their knowledge. They're able to tell the truth and tell people a few things about what's been happening, and maybe waking people up a little bit, and telling people, look, you've got to look at this, you've got to look at that. The sun seems to be a little bit overcast there as well, but it's almost like smoke or things, and I think there's going to be a lot of heat wave around this time, and I think I actually saw this in the card of last week's, the heat wave and fires. So that's something that we need to look at as well and be aware of. And I think as well, because of all the aggression I'm seeing coming out of this, I think really and truthfully we need to stand back a little bit and look at our positivity, our optimism, and be a bit more focused on what we want in a positive manner and a non-aggressive manner, rather than allowing the aggression and the anger to get hold of us. We need to be a little bit more patient, a bit more savvy with things, and use our knowledge and our thoughts before putting our actions into place. But that's the card I'm getting for this week. Anyway, let me know what you think down below, and click subscribe and like, and I'll catch you again. Thanks for joining me this week anyway, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks, bye.